Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program for an important news bulletin. Scientists have confirmed that the rotation of the Earth has been fluctuating in speed for the last several hours. We have received reports of rain in desert regions, temperatures dropping at the equator, and large farm animals floating away from their herds. The epicenter of these disturbances is located just outside of Old Country Lane. This seems to be the focus of the most bizarre occurrences. So stay away from there. We now return to our regular programming.
My name is Osgood Sr. I am Chief Engineer WorldWorks, although how much longer I will occupy that capacity remains to be seen. I am making this recording as a permanent record of the horrible events that have occurred during my tenure as Chief Engineer. This cataclysm occurred during a great tune-up. This most important of procedures is nothing less than the apotheosis of a chief engineer's life. It was for this reason that I insisted that my son Ozzy join me for the tune-up's final stage. Well, he resisted. He thought himself not ready, and I must admit, perhaps he always had a measure of ambivalence about following his father into the profession of WorldWorks engineer. But I was proud of him and wanted to encourage him, so I insisted that he participate. Damn my stubbornness. Ozzy pressed the wrong button. Pangea, the single great mass of all the land on Earth, suddenly shattered, breaking into a series of shifting, drifting continents. And then my son panicked. Seeking to undo what he had done, he threw the planetary air vents into reverse. The vents, now operating at intake instead of exhaust, drew into themselves species from across the planet's surface. Nearly all life was sucked into the vents and funneled down into the Earth's core. In guilt, in panic, in shame, Ozzy ran off, following the victims of his mishap into the core. Once on the other side of the border, he sealed the door and sabotaged the border codes so that no one could follow him. For all I know, he's down there still. I have harbored some hope that he would emerge. I would forgive him if I saw him again, but that hope has faded almost to nothing. As for the creatures swept from the planet's surface, their species will never more be able to follow the course of evolution which nature had intended for them. And no, I cannot bear the thought. Since the accident, I have automated the controls. My hope is that this will eliminate the chance of human error in the future. The staff has begun to disperse. Only a handful will remain to monitor the routine operation of the magnificent WorldWorks machinery. With their good work, and with luck, another tune-up will never be necessary. If it should prove to be so, and if you are about to initiate one, I beg you, learn from my mistake. It is a procedure to be performed with only the gravest caution and respect. For this is the final lesson of my and my son's tragic experience. As WorldWorks engineers, we are not only custodians of the mechanism of the planet, we are guardians of the living creatures upon it.
Wait. Oh, good. Good. What a pleasant surprise. Now, we were hoping you'd be the one. But, look here.
What? Oh, hey. Hiya.
Now, don't mind Bud. He's really as excited as I am. Welcome. Welcome.
What is this place?
This is the WorldWorks. And you're now in the control room. My name is Julius, and this is Bud. From this facility, Bud and I run the machine that runs the world. Isn't that splendid?
Splendid? Yeah, stick around. We'll show you splendid. Boss, we gotta tune up here. We're in the middle of what's called a great tune-up, but you're probably here 'cause things have gone haywire up on the surface. Cows and stuff floating and so forth. That's us. We're on it, though.
You mean you know what's going on the surface?
Do we know? We're causing it. Okay? But don't worry. Couple of tweaks and those things will float back down to Earth. Bada boom. No problem.
As you can see, our monitors give us a comprehensive view of the situation on the surface. In the center of the Earth is a large chamber called the Four Elements Room. It's the heart of the entire WorldWorks machine. It contains 4 valves which control the 4 principal elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Now, for the final and most critical stage of the tune-up, we're
gonna shut it down. The Four Elements Room. Power down. Wait a second. Power back up, and then the whole world machine retools, reboots, restabilizes, back online. Bada bing.
Bud is vastly oversimplifying it. It really is a very delicate procedure. It went wrong once before.
Oh, boy.
What went wrong?
It was 65 million years ago. At that time, tune-ups were quite routine, once every 1,000 years or so, if our files are correct. I can hardly even bear to recount the tale. During the tune-up's final stage, a mistake was made, a wrong button was pushed, and...
Animals. And these creatures were sucked into the core. Gone. Everything.
That's why we're so nervous. I mean, this is the first tune-up any engineer has attempted since that fateful day. But the readings from the core have been stranger and stranger. We couldn't put it off any longer.